good evening, and welcome back to Let's Talk Destiny Talk Show. I am your host, Jamie Green, and I am beyond honored that you will spend time with us tonight. I am really excited tonight, and I say this almost every show, but I am like triple excited tonight because today, as we know, is National Women's History Month, National Day. I'm sorry. The ladies know why I'm stumbling over my words. Y'all don't need to know. And um, and I wanted to take the time to honor some women who have absolutely positively poured into my life. So I want you to share, like the video, share the video. Feel free to, share it with whoever you want to share it with. Also, want to remind you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Jamie Green and Mother's Cry and Let's Talk Destiny. That's the name of it. If you would subscribe to that, it would be a help to us to further our endeavor as we try to spread the good news of what we have to offer. And tonight, I have some amazing women with me, and I absolutely positively cannot read every single bio, but I think within 2 or 3 minutes of hearing them talk, that you will know exactly who they are and what they embody. They are impacting the world just by being here. And I am just blessed to be connected to each of them. I'm going to say your name, and then I would like for you ladies to introduce yourself, tell the audience what you do for a living, and then we'll go from there. All right. First, let's start with the diva, Miss Lynette. I always get
You
pronounced her name.
always get it.
Okay. She is she's amazing to me because she is my go-to for political information. And half the time I don't know what's going on politically. And even when I read it or I see it, I still can't figure out what it is they're talking about. So I know if I go to her page, she's going to do a video and break it down for me. So I'd like to introduce Miss Lynette Hall Richardson.
Other
And
way around. Richardson Hall is
Richardson
fine.
Hall. Okay, I
No
don't know what's the
worries.
next step. I don't want to create no problems in the family. And
No
and you
worries.
can tell us a little bit about yourself, Lynette.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Ladies, it's good to be in the same space as we celebrate. Today is International Women's Day. So this is Women's History Month, but today is International Women's Day. And it's so good to have everybody together because one of my favorite sayings, old adages, the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. So, women have all the power. And I think sometimes we are remiss in that we don't understand just how much power we literally have. But as Jamie mentioned, my name is Lynette Richardson Hall. By day, the superhero cape I wear is that of a professional. I'm a professional meeting planner. My background is being a professional event planner. So I've transitioned over to the corporate life. For over 2 decades, I owned my own very boutique event planning business. Became an empty nester and decided to do a few other things. But in the nighttime world, which is where we reside now, my alter ego is political diva, and I became this person about a decade ago, as we were dealing with our first African American president and all that went around that. And I've always had a love of politics, but what I find is that for most people, they don't understand how the process really works because, as they say, all politics are local. And so I try to help people in a layman's fashion understand what's going on and opine and give commentary. But one of the things I do with my politics is I try to make it easy for people to understand, but more importantly, I try to make it so that they understand why they are indeed a part of the solution and how it is important to have that knowledge because our democracy is at stake and we're the ones who have to fix it. Oh, and on an aside, I have this little business called the Diva's Kitchen. My second love is cooking, and I do it very well. So I got that going on too. I'm
Thank
happy to be here and happy to be here with you ladies.
thank you so much. Miss Ella. Miss Ella Curry entered into my life, or I entered into her life many, many, many years ago. I was blessed to be. I watched her from a distance with her literary genius and how I learned so much from her. She has so many connections. Um, and she could like give you information about the literary world that you wouldn't just pick up from anybody. And so I kind of latched on to Miss Ella, and I've been sticking with her for the last few years, learning all I can. So Miss Ella Curry, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you for having me. And Jamie, know I love her. She's such an amazing person. So, I'm the founder of the Crown Holders Transmedia. And under that umbrella, there's EDC Creations, that's a marketing and promotion firm. There's the Sankofa Literary Society, that's a book club collective. And then there's Band Radio Show, Black Authors Network Radio. And we help to showcase authors and give entrepreneurs a platform to share their gifts. And that pretty much sums it up.
Thank you. Miss Ella is known worldwide for opening doors for authors and those in the literary field. And so I'm just honored that you would spend time with me this evening.
It's a
Okay.
pleasure.
I also want to say good evening to Miss Joyce Brown. She sent us a comment saying good evening, ladies. So we want to recognize
Good
her.
evening, Miss Joyce.
She's another author that has been a guest on my show, and she really encouraged me to keep doing what I'm doing, and I appreciate her for joining us tonight. Next, I want to introduce my sister friend, Mutima Jackson Anderson. Mutima is one of those people that's always nudging me and sometimes shoving me in the background when it comes to all that I'm trying to do. And she is a real blessing to my life. Um, Mutima, can you introduce? I'm sorry, somebody sent a comment, and I just got to stop looking over there. Okay, Mutima, tell us a little bit about yourself, sister friend.
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me here on your platform. I greatly appreciate it. My name is Mutima Jackson Anderson, and I'm a social entrepreneur. For those that may not know, that's an entrepreneur that has a business that offers a product or service that exists to affect social change. Back in 2006, I lost my mom from complications of type 2 diabetes. So I inaugurated a nonprofit organization in her honor to raise awareness of the seriousness of lifestyle influenced diabetes. So we celebrated our 11th year of community outreach and advocacy. And that's pretty much what I do. That has become a huge part of my life. I've been able to turn that pain of losing my mom into purpose. And what we do is render comprehensive diabetes education and social support programs. But more importantly, we try to empower the community to take ownership of their health. In addition to that, I have a company for Raja Pedicure where I make botanical-based foot care products because our feet, that's our foundation for wellness. And I created a product to help those who are struggling with pain, neuropathy. So that's basically what I do. I love to write. I'm a published author. I published my debut novel in 2010, Painting the Perfect Picture. I hope to write more, but again, my advocacy work it takes up a lot of time, but I love it. So I'm excited to be here to celebrate International Women's Day with you ladies.
Thank you so much for joining us. And as I said at the beginning, I know each and every one of you ladies are extremely busy. So for you to take time to spend with me tonight, I really, really appreciate it. We also have a greeting from Miss Renee Henry, and she asked, "What is Miss Ella's contact information?" She is also an author. So if you ladies would like to type in your contact information, you can do that. If not, I was going to ask you to give it at the end of the program anyway. Um, so, whatever you choose to do. So, next, I would like to welcome to the microphone Miss Cheryl Lister, who is one of those authors that has gotten me into uh, contemporary romance, which is kind of annoying when you're not in a relationship. No, I'm just but
But
she has fantastic fire in her pen. And if you have not read any of her books, I highly recommend that you do. Miss Cheryl, introduce yourself to us.
thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here with you ladies today. And, Jamie is my girl here. So I had to say, yep, I'm coming on with you, sister. But I am Cheryl Listrat. She says I'm an author. In a past life, before I even got to this world, I played for a living as a pediatric occupational therapist. But most people and my readers kind of know that I had some back issues, and that back issue turned into doing what I really wanted to do all my life, which is write. And so now I write romance, romantic suspense, and women's fiction. And I like to celebrate Black love in all its beauty. So those are what my books will look like.
All right, then. You go ahead, girl. All right. Thank you so much. And next, I'd like to welcome my friend, Ms. Kathy McKnight. Um, I don't even know how to put into words how much Kathy means to me because, okay, whew, I'm getting emotional. Most of you know I have an organization called A Mother's Cry.
Hmm.
And it's difficult to get get things going, get things where you want them to be when you're doing most of it by yourself. Even if you're wanting to help people, sometimes it's challenging to do that. And so I met Miss Kathy. I attended a webinar, I think it was, about gun violence, mothers against gun violence, or something like that. And or I don't know. And she she was one of the speakers, and she talked about domestic violence and her own personal experience with domestic violence. And so we connected that way. I mentioned to her that we're getting ready for Christmas, I think it was. Um, and I mentioned to her that what my organization does and how what I wanted to do for Christmas, how we like to adopt a family, but I didn't think that
Hmm.
we were going to be able to do it last year because we weren't getting any response or support from anyone. She says to me, "Give me a name of a family that you wanted to take care of, and my organization will do that on your behalf." This is a woman I never met before in my life. And so this is what I say when I say each of you have a special place in my heart, and you have touched me in ways that I really don't even know how to express. And so I wanted to take this time to let everybody know how much each of you means to me. Miss Kathy, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do, my friend.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. And you can tell I was having technical difficulties today.
No
Satan
problem.
been on me all day because of he know that I was trying to get on here, and then also for my event that I'm having this weekend. So he's been trying to ride me all day. But yes, I do. Thank you for having me tonight, to Jamie, and seeing the other ladies on here tonight, the phenomenal women that we are. Bound for Better is my organization, domestic violence. I often say that God doesn't make any mistakes. You know how you and I met and it happened, and here we are. Bound for Better, we have been in service for almost 10 years now, where we support women and children of domestic violence. And we do, I have a lot of partners that I'm, affiliated with where we do help the women go get a protective order, court accompaniment. We have do hotel stays again, like you stated. Then of toy drives, food baskets, and everything. Basically, helping the women to be able to get back on their feet once they leave the situation. So I do that. That's nonstop 24/7. So if I get a phone call, I can get a phone call from Prince George's County, the hospital up here, or county sheriff or police, wanting the young woman to have some place to stay just to get a good night's sleep. So we will put her up in the hotel for a couple of nights, and now I'm partnered up with someone. Well, a bedroom where she's able to stay a little longer than that, basically. And we do counseling sessions, 10-week trauma sessions. It keeps me busy. Besides that, I'm a mental health counselor on the weekends and a substance abuse counselor during the week, evenings, and I'm a PO during the day. So I stay busy,
Hmm.
and I'm thankful for what God has done for me and moving me forward, being a survivor myself. So Thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Again, I appreciate each one of you. And if you've noticed, each one of you has a unique story. Your impact in the world is unique. What you are doing with your life is unique. And again, I'd like to remind those who are listening to like the video and share the video. There's some things that will be shared here tonight that will absolutely change your life. So we ask everyone to share the video to your page. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to put them in the comment section. And I will share the comments with the ladies because I'm not sure if you can see them or not. All right. I wanted to ask each one of you sisters, as you may or may not know, the Let's Talk Destiny virtual talk show is a purpose-driven format. I am a big advocate for pushing people to know their purpose and pursue their purpose. Mutima gave me that nickname, the Purpose Advocate, and I've been riding with it ever since. I would like for each of you ladies to tell us um, how you found out what your purpose is and what you are doing at this time to fulfill your purpose. Let's start with Miss Ella.
Okay, so that's a good one for me. Back in 2017, I became very ill. I have Crohn's disease, and I had to have an emergency surgery. It wasn't even time for me to think about what was happening. So, for the next 2 years, I was really fighting for my life and in recovery. And during that time, I had a lot of time to reflect on what I wanted for life from life and what I wanted to do. And I just started writing and writing and writing. And during the course of that time, I realized that I had taken up so much of my life with work. I had taken away and sacrificed time with my life partner, with my daughter, and I had really let my health go to pot, just constantly working, working, working. And I felt like it was my purpose to serve, to really help authors get their books out because a lot of people had very important things to tell that could influence other people's lives. But during that time when I was sick, I realized I had to start taking care of me. And that took a lot of change. And the first change was going to therapy. I had a lot of childhood trauma that really impacted my self esteem and just my whole mental well being. During the course of my therapy, I realized that more so than promoting books, I wanted to teach other women how to start their own business, how to monetize their gifts. So I think that's my purpose now to share all of the experience I had from 25 years of business, living and working with a chronic illness, and to just really dip back into and fulfill yourself instead of always pouring into other people. Women need to take time and pour into themselves. So now that's my entire platform, speaking to people about self-care, self love, mental well-being, decluttering their lives. So that's my purpose now, to reach out and help other people realize that they are a priority.
That's powerful because we do. We spend when we wake up in the morning, our first thought is, if we're married, we got to get up and get the husband something. If we have children, we got to make sure the children are straight. And all through the day, it's like you're thinking about other people. And you realize 10, 15 years have gone by since you last did something for yourself. And so that's very important. I want to say that you're rocking that hat, Miss Ella. I'm not happy. Come on over
Thank
there
you.
to DC and grab it.
Thank
All
you.
right, Ms. Lynette, Ms. Political Diva, what is your purpose?
This is a very interesting question. And I'm reminded of that verse, Jeremiah, for I know the plans I have for you.
Yes.
I've always said that we come to this plane with a plan. plan's already developed. Life, that little dash between birth date and death date, that dash is the plan.
Yes.
However, we don't know what that is, and I think that we are guided along the way to make the right decision for the plan. Speaking just from my own experience, I never knew that I was going to end up being the wedding planner with the TV show. I never knew that, something that was therapeutic for me and a hobby, my cooking, was going to actually turn into something. I had no idea that my love of words, because I'm definitely a wordsmith, and my interest, almost my nerdish fascination with politics, was going to lead to this alter ego. But it's a part of the plan. So for me, purpose is about planning, and it's about staying true to it. Because what I have found and what I've told others is that how you're doing the right thing, that you're following the plan, is because it's like you have the Midas touch. It goes, it happens, and it manifests itself. It's when you stray away from the purpose and the plan, that's when stuff goes to hell, quick, fast, and in a hurry. So, and I've told my kids this, the young men and women that I would mentor, I was like, use your intuition, because it is given to you for a reason. That's one of the tools in the toolkit for your purpose, for your destiny, for your plan, is intuition. It's not new age. It's not magic. It's a thing. And when you follow that, it just works. When I retired, we'll put that in air quotes, back in 2014, everyone kept saying, "Why are you doing this? You're at the top of your game." I said, precisely. I said, one of my things here in life, I want to do things on my terms. And I had been in the business over 20 years. And it was time. I'm reminded of that song, The Gambler. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And so that is also purpose, because sometimes we get so entrenched in things that you can't see the forest for the trees. Sometimes you want to hold on to stuff. This could be possessions, it could be people, it could be situations, and really, it has served its purpose. You're done with it. Move on. But that's so hard for people to do because it's about familiarity. Well, there's also another adage that says familiarity breeds contempt. And so I say all that to say this. I actually feel like I'm literally guided by the universe, literally. And so far, so good. So I think probably the last point is, and I always say this, and Jamie, you know this, I say this when I do my political lives all the time. I fully believe that my mission here on this third rock from the sun is that of teacher. Teacher comes in many, many fashions and many, many ways. And I think that when I use my political voice, I am being the teacher. I'm teaching people about democracy. I'm teaching them about their rights and how to look at the world from a geopolitical basis and as a whole, and what their role is in it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that. And I love that because I'm connected to a lot of people in my circle are Christians or, preachers or whatever the case may be. And every conversation is about the Bible, about God, about Jesus. And I don't have nothing against all that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I do. But I think that sometimes people get their head so deep into religiosity that they're not aware of what's going on in the real world, like domestic violence, like bad relationships, like people have chronic illnesses, people like Miss Ella and I every day in pain, suffering with but you try to wear a smile and you try to keep
Mm-hmm.
going, but you just feel like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you just want to just lay on the floor and scream and holler. And Cheryl also with the back pain. Then Mutima, who's always out in the community, trying to make things work in her community, and you don't always get the response that you should get or that you think you would get from people. So it's like more to life than just sitting in the back trying to figure out how to quote scriptures. And so that's one of the things I love about when I talk, or not when I talk, but when I listen to Vignette talk, is I get a better understanding of what's going on in the world, in politics. So when I do pray, I do know how specifically to pray. I do know what's going on. I'm not going to sit here and a bomb drop on my house and I didn't even know that they were like dropping bombs because I was not paying attention. So I think we need to be, more diverse in what we're doing. And I really appreciate that about her. Okay, Cheryl, how did you find your purpose and how are you fulfilling your purpose?
I guess let's just put it this way. I think my purpose both times have found me versus me finding them.
All right.
Because like I said, in my first career, I think that my purpose is kind of tied to my passions pretty much because growing up, I love children. I gotta say, I love kids, and I always looked to do things for children, with children, even before I had my own children. And so finding a career as a pediatric occupational therapist was like gold mine because I think not many people, when you first come out of school for occupational therapy, pediatrics is a specialty area and you have to do extra work for that. However, this is God. He placed me there for my placement, for my internship that we have to do for school. And they hired me.
Wow.
And kept me there. And then when like I said, everybody knows I love reading, I love writing. And you can ask my sister, she will tell you growing up, I'd be on the porch in my little journal, writing some little story somewhere, doing it. But then when I had the back issues and it came to the point where, nope, you can't do this therapy anymore. What else are you going to do? And like Ms. Ella said, you laying flat on your back, having to have surgery. And remember that you've been talking about writing books for 20 years, that you started a story, that you've been telling your mom about for, umpteen decades, that you write it. And then you have to be on your back and those is just playing in your head.
Yeah.
So you're going to finish this book. What are you going to do? You keep saying you want to write. Are you going to write? Are you going to do it? What you going to do? And so it took me being flat on my back to actually do that. Now, that wasn't the book that, got me published. Let's just fast forward to how many more back surgeries and how many more times being down that I was off and wrote the book. The fourth book that I wrote was the one that got me the deal and started my literary career. And literally, my first book came out the same time that my doctor told me that I would not be able to go back to my job as an occupational therapist.
Oh, wow.
So,
and how many books do you have published now?
32, 33 will be coming out in 2 weeks.
Wow.
So awesome.
Every time somebody gives me a
next
number
week,
like that, I'm like,
my bad, next week.
I feel like, what in the
33
heck?
next week. Book number 33 next week. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it is a passion. I am so blessed because I don't think that people get to have two passions, to have two careers that they absolutely adore.
Mm-hmm.
I had 20 plus years as a therapist and impacting these babies' lives. And I look and I still see some of them and I still know them. So I had them when they were babies, birth to 3. And I see them, being 22, 23 years old. And I see how far they've come just from those times when I had them as a baby. So it's an awesome thing. Yeah, awesome blessing.
I'm smiling to myself because when you talked about how much you like kids, because I have never liked kids.
Okay, let me just rephrase that now. If I see kids out here at the store, around the corner now, because my kids are grown, I'm like, I don't want to see kids no more. I'm sick of those kids.
I love
Close
them.
down the school.
I
My children are
love them.
done.
I'm not going to do nothing to hurt them or nothing like that.
But for me, I love playing. I play for a living. Not many people get to say they get to play for 20 something years. Because if you look at my toolkit with toys, I'm on the floor with children laying down. I get kisses like I'm the next auntie that comes over.
That
so
every time I say that, somebody's like, "What are you crazy?" Honey, listen, I do not like children.
I had a nickname. The baby whisperer. That's what they used to call me, the baby whisperer, because kids who were difficult and that wouldn't work with any other therapist, I could get the children to do stuff. So,
Wow.
yeah.
And that's why when I told family and friends that I was becoming a substitute teacher, they were like, oh my God, those poor children. But the thing is, once I got into the school system, the kids were looking for me and asking for it
That's
because
right.
I've worked with the special needs kids.
Those
So,
are my
I mean,
babies.
yeah, I mean, I love them and all that, but I'm not saying drop them all off in my house.
Oh yeah, we're not saying that though. Oh no, no, no. I don't. Yeah, I got grandbabies, and they still
Yeah,
be not
right.
all day
Yeah,
every
like,
day.
honey, when your mom coming to get you? What time is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime she go home,
I
yeah.
love my boys though. I do. I love my boys.
All right. Mutima,
Well, the question is, what is my passion?
your purpose
My
and
purpose. I'm
and what are
sorry.
you doing to pursue it?
Okay, so I believe, our purpose is something obviously it's bigger than us. So the thing that I share Miss Ella's sentiments. I think I really believe my purpose is to serve. I was born under the zodiac sign of Aquarius. I really do believe I'm here, which is the humanitarians of the zodiac, to make a difference. It's something this purpose is something that I discovered again after I lost my mother. I wanted to share her story because I became so angry with the healthcare system, how she was treated. And I feel that, type 2 diabetes is something that really, it can be prevented, but I think it's just not a lot of information out there at that time. So, and because it was heavily associated with her finances, I just wanted to make a difference. So, and you mentioned earlier that sometimes we don't get the support as, advocates. And sometimes in this nonprofit sector, it can be very challenging because we're depending on the public for the kindness of the public to help us to do some of the work that we do. And it's not even about recognition because, again, I feel that I'm here to affect change. So my mom's story that drives me, and I believe I'm here to serve. So
And you're doing an excellent job of that.
thank you. And it's totally I have, just for your viewers, my educational background. I have an English degree. I've always, my goal or my passion was to write, and I set up my own publishing company. But life it took a detour, so I had to kind of go with the flow. But only thing I write now is pretty much grants. But I do agree that your passion, it can become, it can be heavily associated with your purpose. So, in fact, when I did write my debut novel, I talked a lot about diabetes. So, I believe my purpose here is to affect change and to serve.
Thank you. All right, ladies. Again, Miss Joyce Brown said, thank you all for sharing your personal journeys. It is appreciated. All right, Miss Kathy, I know that you had your own personal survival experience with domestic violence, but how did you decide that was your purpose, that that's what you are called to do to help other women?
Okay, I would say when I became aware that it was my purpose, I've always asked God, what is my purpose? We all know we got a purpose. What's our purpose of being here? I too am one that like to serve and make, see people happy. So when I started getting friends die from domestic violence, through gun violence, that started, and then going to court, the family members, or even she may have lived, um, from being shot, and going to court to try to get a protective order. They had to show so much paperwork in order to get that piece of paper. To see it just be minimized or downplayed, how she feels on, and the judge saw, well, I don't see fit. Why should I offer this protective order to you if you can't provide me enough pictures, dates, or any times or anything like that of the alleged abuse of what has happened? So when I saw that the one friend of mine, her case got put on stet docket. She showed this judge that he beat her dashboard in. He threw a dog in the street, and he just abused her so bad. just to put it on stat docket, just to find out after that because he knew him. So okay, he put it on stat docket because he know the judge. So, and I say all that to say, Jamie, because my friends that I had die from domestic violence, they're no longer here. They can't speak. So I'm that person for the voice. I'm the voice for the voiceless. I'm going to. I've had this. I've always questioned God, even when it happened to me. I'm like, why does this happen? Because I prolonged that, put it off and put it off. When I was at the sheriff's office, I said, no, I don't have time because my schedule wouldn't allow me to do it. So I said, okay. And God kept saying to me, I need you to start this organization. I'm like, okay, I'll do it later. Then I moved on to parole and probation. I do it later. I don't have time. So it wasn't until I went through my own stuff. And he said, now it's time. So with that being said, it's like, okay, I get it. I get it. I cannot say or downplay um how a woman how she has gone through certain situations, that it doesn't she don't matter. So I went through it and going through it and going through it and going to see how the paperwork process is, going through the courts and not getting the support that you needed, and basically the resources, people are holding on to their resources, not wanting to share anything with you. So I'm like, okay, I'm stuck here. So now I'm the person for these ones now that are still here, and I try to support them, myself and my team, and try to support them in any way that we can, and just make sure that they're okay. They get a protective order, they have a nice place to live, they have food, they have clothes, they know how to do a resume, they know how to pay some bills. I Thankfully I had the opportunity. It's my house, so I wasn't leaving anywhere. It was just a friend that wanted more out of something that I did not want, and just to move forward with it, I was able to, before my husband's passing, was able to, he was the one that allowed me to just talk about things. I stayed suppressed about so many things for years. So with that, I just found my purpose. Now I know, and I don't ask any questions. I know why I'm here. I'm here to serve. I'm here to make a difference, to try to, you know, put not I'm not going to say it's going to end domestic violence, at least to downsize it, at least people to be, they do have the opportunity and they want to talk about it more, they want to be open more, um they want to reach out more, because when you talk to family about it, they don't want to, if it's not happening to them, they don't care. If your neighbors hear about it, they don't care. It's only until then, as a life is taken, then everybody want to start stepping in and doing something about it. By then, it's a little too late. So I'm that voice. Where were you back then? What happened then? Why you didn't support her then? Why you didn't take that child in then? So I know my purpose. God said, you got a mouth, so I need you to do what you need to do. So, and here I am. So,
I love these. I love
yeah.
each one of your responses because each one of them, each one of your responses shows just how unselfish you are. And each one of you also are very vocal. And I think that's the thing that, one of the things that draws me to you individually and collectively, because for whatever reason, for many years, we didn't speak up. Some of us, held stuff in for whatever reason. I carried a lot of things in my spirit and in my heart and my mind that I am absolutely convinced are affecting my body today, because stress and trauma and stuff like that. I was, molested as a child, and I did not even talk about it until I was 32 years old. That's a lot of years to carry that.
Hmm.
And so now that we've reached this place where we're free and we're healed and whole, and we're still healing, as long as we're here, there'll always be something. But we're using our voices to tell other people, you don't have to go through what I went through. Just listen to what I'm saying and let me help you out. And if you are going through something that I've been through, that's why I personally have an issue with people saying, hurt people,
Right.
because that's not always true. Because
Right.
sometimes when you're hurting, you will take another hurting person by the hand and say, let's walk through this together.
Hmm.
We don't all hurt people and just start lashing out at everybody that we see. So this is one of the many things that I love about you ladies. Now, I want each one of you to tell me something that as a woman, because it has not really been that many years in this country that we have been able to just be a voice and use our voices the way we do now. So I want each of you to tell me, what would you say is your greatest achievement to this day? How have you impacted anybody else's life? Or what would you say is your greatest achievement? All right, Miss Vignette, political diva. I know she get tired of me calling her that.
That's fine. Um, that's a very interesting question.
Thank you. I've
Honestly,
been working on it all day.
hey, but bump up, you're here all week. I would honestly say my greatest accomplishment are my two kids. I have my children, they're 8 years apart, so they're now 34 and 26. And I've always said that being a mother changed my entire perspective, but it changed it in so many different levels. They say, oh, it's your heartbeat, outside of your chest. Yep, that's true. But the reason I say that they're my biggest accomplishment is because I can see in their adulthood everything that I poured into them. I see it. And it pleases me that, they listen to their mama. Yes, they're stubborn. And sometimes you got to let kids make mistakes so they can understand that mama was right. But for the most part, they are loving, kind, generous, funny, highly intelligent, giving, nurturing people. And they are good citizens of the world, which is what I wanted. And, that makes me extraordinarily happy. So it doesn't matter how many other accolades I get any other place. It doesn't matter. Those two, that's it. It's simplistic, but I mean, and I actually had someone tell me, they're like, your life can't revolve around being a mother. I said, I didn't say it did. I'm just telling you that those two, we talk about purpose, we talk about destiny, those two.
Yes.
And it's real simple. It's real simple.
I love it. I love it. Because you know how I feel about the mothers, and what a ministry and a gift that is all unto itself. And
that's good. I like how you put that. It is, I think that purpose is also about ministries. And sometimes when people talk about ministry, they immediately go to the religious side of it. I'm like, no. Ministry is not that. And mothering is a ministry. Nurturing is a ministry. Doing for others is a ministry. You don't always have to be sitting in the pews or, always at a deacon board meeting or something to minister to somebody. Yes. Your goodness and your good graces and your graciousness and your ability to extend grace to people, that's a ministry. All of its own. It's a world ministry. So,
Very good. And let me just tell you that your son is fine.
Yes. I will say this. He is a handsome little devil. But his late father, God rest his soul, he looks just like, I see his father every time I look at him. And one of the reasons I was attracted to his father, because he was so quiet, the opposite of me. And he was this beautiful chocolate man. And when people see my son, they're like, he looks just like you. I was like, no. This is his daddy's genes. But yes. But remember when his picture went viral? And I think he posted in one of those groups on Facebook. And ladies, please forgive this point of personal privilege. He posted, he has locks down his back. And he has a full beard. It reminds me of Solomon or something like that. Well, he posted this picture in one of these beard groups, like Beards Men Group or whatever.
was
And
coming for your baby.
I had to snatch a knot up in some people because it reminded me of Medusa, the way his locks were like he was laying on the bed. It was a gorgeous picture. My son is handsome. I'm happy. He got good genes, blah, blah, blah. But what you're not fitting to do is act like a trollop around my son. So at first it started out real mild mannered, and then it didn't. And I'm watching it, and of course, all of his aunties, all my girlfriends, we're all in the group, and we were all like text messaging each other, and I was like, I'm good, I'm good. And then one of his aunties said, well, I'm not. And that's how that's how the fight started. So we was snatching knots, weaves, wigs, 27 pieces, everything. And one of them decided she wanted to get, she felt froggy. And I told her, I said, you feel froggy? Leap, damn it. She didn't do that no more. And so my son was texting me. He said, Mama. I was like, let me tell you something. I said, I didn't raise you like that. I said, now you know doggone well I don't tolerate that. And he said, he said, yes, ma'am. He said, I can take care of myself. I said, oh, I'm not worried about that. I said, but them little heifers? Absolutely not. And there were women my age acting a whole pure fool. And I called them all on it. And so, but some of my girlfriends, who I thought I was dragging people, it was like tag team, WWE. We just started dragging everybody. And he said, how old are y'all? I was like, we grew up fighting people after school in the schoolyard. Like back in the day, you fought people and then it was over. I said, we come from that legion. I said, And he was like, I have never seen people act like that. I was like, don't start no more, be none. So he saw another side of his mama that day. But I will say this in his defense, everyone asked me why my son is still single. I said, because all of his girlfriends are scared of me.
Oh my God, then yet.
I mean, I have a certain standard. You're not just gonna bring anybody up in my house. You're not going to partner with just anybody. I need somebody who will meet your standards and then exceed them. I need somebody who's going to be good to you, and for your legacy. Let's not even play about that. So,
well, the diva has spoken. I should have never said nothing about her son. It's
okay, but not near one chicken head has come through my door. Not one.
Look, it's a good thing I turned in my cougar card, Miss Ella.
I'm just sitting here wondering, was I one of the people posting on that picture?
Oh, that's
I love a man with a beard.
That is
goodness.
funny. So, Miss Ella, what would you say is your greatest accomplishment to date?
Owning a business that allowed me to work from home for over 20 some years, because that allowed me to be a caregiver to 3 people who have passed on.
Wow.
My life partner, KB, passed away in November of 2020 from leukemia. And because I could work from home, I was able to go to her chemo treatments. I was able to go to the doctor with her when she needed to go. And when she was ill, I was able to take care of her. My mom had a brain tumor in 2019, and I was able to stay literally in the hospital with her for 6 months. I didn't leave till she left. And I was able to still run my company and work from home. Having launched 400 authors' books, I have promoted and launched over 400 authors. And most of those authors are repeat clients. I have seen a lot of people's dreams come true, come to life in full color through EDC creation. And most of those people have outgrown me and went on to be New York Times bestsellers, USA Today bestsellers, and moved on to bigger, better things. But when I think about all the people that have come through Band Radio Show, Black Pearls Magazine, I'm kind of proud of that because when I worked at Caribou Bookstore, I was an assistant buyer at Caribou Book Chain, the largest African American bookstore chain. I was able to see that the self published author needed help. At that time, it was frowned upon. People really dissed them and looked down upon them. But I helped them level the playing field. You could not tell my independent authors from my traditionally published authors. And that's really what I do today, help people present their products in a professional manner that can stand the test between someone that's sponsored by a corporation or a big publishing house. So I think my greatest accomplishment has been to stay consistent, to stay in the game, even when things didn't look good. I toughed it out and stayed here and moved along with all the industry trends and ebbs and flows. But to help 400 people um, birth their babies, their books, and to spread the word, I think that's my greatest accomplishment. And
That's
being able to
awesome.
work from home.
Thank you, Miss Ella. I'm just blessed by you. And I'm ashamed to say that I've been connected to you all these years and I have not taken advantage of your services. So maybe now that I'm put myself out there on blast in front of everybody, I'll do better this year.
Well, let me say something about that right here, and maybe it can go on the record. Everyone that I have helped launch their books didn't necessarily pay me. Some people had a message that needed to be put out in the world. Some people had a story that needed to be told. And when I first started this business, I did a lot of barter and trading. Say you may have been good at maybe graphic design, and or maybe you were good at editing or formatting, or maybe I had a friend that needed a service that you had, and I would promote the book or help them get their promotional material together if they help my friend. And
Okay.
also, back when I started, blogs was a big thing, and,
Right,
and
right.
people had a blog. So I had a blog tour, and some authors, I would promote their books if they had a big following, if they would promote my clients. So we just was a network, the Black
Yeah.
Authors Network. And so not everyone paid me. And then as a small business owner, you recognize that some people don't have the budget, they have families, they have illnesses, they're caregivers. So money has never been my primary reason for being in this business. I've gained a lot of other things other than finances. I've made great friends, connections, people that I trust and love, like much like Jamie. They're like my family, like Cheryl. I've known her so much, and even Cheryl is not necessarily a paying client for me now, but when I see her new books, I'm gonna share that book. I'm gonna put that book out there. I love Cheryl. I love
And I
all of
love Miss Ella too. And I'll be looking for her services
them.
again. Don't worry about it. Like she
I
said, trying
use
to get that budget
people for
together.
money a lot.
Getting that budget
Absolutely.
together.
And Miss Ella, we have a comment from Miss Joyce again. She said that she's amazed by your story and the kindness that you showed her as a new author. She says she still follows you and she is self-published.
And I love Miss Joyce too. And one of the things I remember about her is I didn't know a lot about heart disease and problems. I think this is the Miss Joyce you're talking about. And once she told me that, because I have a family history of it, I went on to research and I followed her and started doing better with my diet and different things. And I at one point wasn't taking medication, but I take it religiously now. And so I love Miss Joyce too. She's a great writer as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, Matima, what is your greatest achievement to this point? Because I know there's much
Ooh.
more coming for all of us, but what would you say is your greatest achievement to this point?
I don't know. I think out of all of the quote unquote accolades I received, something recently happened a couple of months ago that I, consider an achievement. Again, I am a diabetes advocate. I work as a community health worker where I connect people to resources, and I run a very non-clinical approach to diabetes self-management. So I've been working with this actually a gentleman. He's about mid 50s. And when I started working with him, he had an A1C level of like 14. It was really high. And they
Wow.
were saying he would probably have to have an amputation. So we worked with him for about 8 months. His A1C now is a little over 5, but to help him to do something I think was so life-saving. Um, at a time when people were saying, "You're not a nurse. Why you shouldn't be giving out healthcare information." I thought that was an accomplishment because we
Absolutely.
went, a different route. Obviously, the clinical route is not really working, just being medicated. So let's see, what other factors that may be contributing to your health outcomes. So to me, that was an accomplishment, and he's doing well.
That's very good. That's a great accomplishment because um, the diabetes is a major problem in our communities, and the medication, like you say, my mom's whole entire family, everybody, like it was so bad with the diabetes that of course they called it sugar, um, and they would say Uncle so and so got the sugar and this one got the sugar, and it was like you had to have it. Like there's no way you could not have it and be in this family. It was just that kind of way. So I think it's awesome what you're doing, and I'm extremely proud of you. Um,
Jamie, can I say
Mhm.
something? I
sure.
need to get with her because I recently was diagnosed with diabetes, and my A1, what is it, A1C,
A1C. Hmm.
Yes.
went from 9 to now is 6.5. So I need to get with her so she can get me down to 5.
I would absolutely love to work with
I
you.
will
Let me just
contact
say,
you.
yes, and we
Absolutely.
are Facebook friends. Let me just say this because I may have to leave, Miss Ella, because you are very well known in the literary industry. So I am so honored to sit on this, to have this conversation with you included, and of course the other ladies. I am inspired and also motivated by all of your stories. So, but yes, I believe we can absolutely help you. And let me say this to Jamie, because I know you said we had this conversation before about the hereditary component to diabetes. Because I don't like to say it runs in the family because it doesn't. But some of our poor, unhealthy lifestyle choices from generations and generations ago, that's what runs in the family. So we can change some of that. I think we can change, our health to have better outcomes.
Absolutely. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. And Miss Ella, Miss Joyce said to tell you thank you
Oh, she will.
for everything you shared. Okay, I lost track of who I talked to. Miss Kathy.
Yes, ma'am. And I want to say before you two leave, Miss Ella and the Grant woman, I need you. I need you. I
Mutima.
need you. Okay.
Mutima, I'm
Mutima.
here.
Yeah, we definitely need to connect with each
Yes.
other.
Yes.
Definitely need to
Yes.
connect with
So
each other.
most definitely.
Yeah,
Yes.
and those of us like Lynette and Cheryl are two that I know love to cook. Now that much I do know. I don't know about the rest of you ladies, but
I
No.
love to
because
cook, but I love to eat more.
Except for
girl, you
Cheryl's not
must
going
not
to be doing a
go
podcast with nothing on food because she don't like to be on camera. So there it is.
But
I'm
Cheryl
telling
can
you,
bake, and I hope
if
she
you're
She
not
comes.
does.
connected to Lynette, you need to because
I'm
the
good.
stuff that she's posted, like I'm just staring at it. Like I can't look at it right now because I got this whole nausea thing going on. But that lady, she was actually had her own, was on a cooking show. I mean, she's phenomenal, and I know Cheryl cooks. That's one of her favorite things to do as well. So I was like, I think all of you ladies need to connect with each other
Mm-hmm.
because each of you has something unique to provide. Each one of you. One of the comments that we just had is that one of the ladies said, "I need a few of you." So I know she's an author, also this particular person, and a mother. So it's like we all have health challenges and things going on. Each and every one of you can bless us. I have one more question, and then I'm going to ask each one of you to give your I'm sorry, contact information. Okay, I promise you I will not do what I did before the next show. Okay?
Oh man.
But
Okay.
your contact information before we go, I'd like for you to give us your contact information, because this is being recorded and people can write it down, as they play it back or whatever the case may be. So
Okay.
ultimately, each and every one of you are here tonight because you are a blessing to me. And I know I'm not, I don't know, Mutima and my sister, some other people are always getting on my case about downplaying what I do or what because I don't really feel like I do much. Like when I listen to women like you talk and I watch some of you, I feel like, oh my God, I'm just doing nothing. Like because I have a lot of challenges, like a lot of physical challenges. And some days it's all I can do is walk from one room to the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I listen to you all, and some people have an issue like they don't understand why people are on Facebook all the time and this and that and other. But I want to say that had it not been for Facebook, I would not have met either one of you. Well, except for Miss Kathy, I met her at a webinar. But I am so grateful to God for allowing me to connect with each and every one of you, because you have each poured into me, and I don't know what I've done for you, um, but if I can do anything for you, please feel free to let me know. And again, we've reached over an hour, and I didn't want to keep you any longer than that. But does anybody have any final words you'd like to say? And please give your contact information.
Yes, I would like to say you have been a tremendous blessing in my life. You have been a spiritual advisor to me, and you've helped me to form a relationship. I had pretty much abandoned the church, but you've had Bible study with me to share with me the importance of intimacy with God. So you've been a huge
Mm-hmm.
blessing in my life. So I thank you for that. And you make a tremendous difference with the work that you do. So I just wanted to thank you. For those that would like to reach me, my website for the Ruby A. Neeson Diabetes Awareness Foundation, again, the organization's name, honor my mother. I am at fightdiabetesnow.org. That's www.fightdiabetesnow.org. On Facebook, I'm Mutima Jackson. And also, Jamie has helped me even with my relationship with I call him my man child, my husband. So thank you so much for that. But again, I'm at fightdiabetesnow.org. And yes, please reach out to me. I would love to be a wellspring of support for you, to help you to be to be healthier. It's a journey and we're all in it together. So again, my approach is very non-traditional, but I do think that I can help you. So thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you so much to all of the ladies. I have enjoyed chatting with you tonight and hope to see you on Facebook. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Miss Cheryl.
Parting words, huh? Well, you already know how I feel about you, ma'am. So we've had our little inbox conversation. So I'm gonna just leave them over in the inbox so that
Man,
they're where they are. But again, I have enjoyed this time and sharing with you ladies. And Miss Ella, yeah, me and her go back because she's my girl. So and I look forward to like finding all the rest of you online as well. So my contact information, which I will probably go on Facebook and put it in the comments, so make it easier. So it's harder for people, it's harder for people to remember and everything. But you can find me on Facebook under author Cheryl Lister, Twitter and IG are both just Cheryl Lister. Make it simple. So there we
okay.
are.
All right, thank you, Miss Ella.
Okay, I have a couple of things. So I need to get with the political diva because I have absolutely no idea what's happening in political circles. I follow Victoria Christopher Murray to get
Yeah,
my news. I
yeah.
don't look at TV. I have this TV you see behind me. You probably can see the dust on it. It hasn't been on in a year. So I don't look at television, but I will be following you and look you up so I can get that commentary. Miss Kathy, I live in Prince George's County, Maryland, and I'm about to move to Savannah, Georgia to live. I have so many clothes that I would like to donate for women who may have to just run and leave and can't get their things. And I'm a plus size woman. And so,
Okay.
it's always hard to get plus size stuff. And I have a ton I would like to donate. The
Okay.
other thing is when COVID took place, I went on this buying spree and just hoarded all this food and all these canned goods. I can fund a mission with all these canned goods. And I have high blood pressure, so I can't even eat them. I don't even know why I bought them.
Wow.
So
Wow.
if you know a mission or if you have something,
Yes.
I would like someone to come get all this food because and when I say I'm serious to fill up a car, I can't
Okay.
eat it and I would like to donate it.
Most definitely. And
Uh,
I would
That's
definitely
cool.
appreciate
That's
that.
cool.
That's a blessing because I can
and
I
I
mean
even have
just
household stuff,
yeah.
a storage building full of stuff.
Okay.
I would like to donate because I'm leaving town.
Okay. All
That's
right.
wonderful.
Very nice.
You
Very
better
And,
not
cool.
give away that hat.
you know, because I am what old people call tender headed, I don't comb my hair. I keep a hat and a good wig. I posted the other day. I was flirting with some guys outside. I had to run put my good wig on.
Oh
So I have
God.
to
Oh,
keep the
yeah.
hats and wigs, but I give
Oh
me
my
everything
goodness.
else.
Oh my
That
goodness.
is
Okay.
But my contact information, the best way to get all my social media and find out all the things I'm into is go to edc-creations.com, and that's creations with an S, and you can find all of my stuff.
Mhm.
But if you go to my Facebook page in the next 36 hours, I just launched a new magazine and I posted a sneak peek. It's only going to be live for 36 hours because the print book goes live next Tuesday.
Okay.
I'm
So
definitely
we
going to
run back to Facebook real quick, go on your page and find it is what I'm about to do, right? That's what's going to happen as
exactly.
soon as I hang up, right?
You and me both. All right, Miss Lynette, you have any parting words for us and contact information, Miss Diva?
Well, first, thank you so much for having me, ladies. It's been such a pleasure meeting you and listening to your life's journeys. Definitely enjoyed being a passenger on this train. I wish you all the best successes. Um, I think that my biggest parting word, aside from my cooking and everything, I always like to tell people your vote matters, and elections have consequences. And I was born in 1961, so I'll be 62 in December. When I was born, the Voting Rights Act had not been established. It wasn't established until 1965. And I think that especially as Black people, we have forgotten that it wasn't that long ago that we were subjected to Jim Crow and a few other things. So your vote matters. When I hear people say, my vote doesn't count, I don't like nobody, I'm not going to vote, I'm like, that's how you got the 45th president. That's how you got January 6th. That's how you've gotten the gutting of the Voting Rights Act. That's how you've gotten DEI being taken away from many institutions. That's how you got January 6th. Be careful very much of what you ask for. Universe will grant it. So I encourage everybody. It's not even about being political. It's about being aware. Because when Miss Ella was talking about the pandemic, there were a lot of people who were highly unprepared for that. Highly. And I made it a mission, and Jamie can tell you, I made it a mission to tell people. I made up lists. The planner in me couldn't help it. I made up lists. I told everybody what to do, how to do it. And there were a lot of people who took my advice. And it was in that moment that I realized that I got a little bit of reach. So let me, use my power for good, if you will. So I always come back, to politics, because it's not about Democrat or Republican. It's not about the lever you pull. In this republic, nope, we didn't ask to come here. Our ancestors were brought here over 400 years ago, but we're here now. Make it count. We literally built this nation, literally. And I need people to step up and to become more aware. So on Twitter, it's Political Diva 25. But if you want to see some good food, go on Facebook and Instagram, and it's the Diva's Kitchen. So again, thank you, Jamie, for having me. Ladies, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Jamie, thank you so much for putting this together. And the thing I love about you is you are really creating a movement and lending a voice to our young men that have got caught up in the justice system. Now, that's how I began following you. And that's the thing I think you're creating the biggest impact, because so many young men get caught up and get sentenced, but the families are sentenced as well. They have to live through that with them. And I enjoy seeing you inform other parents about the system and the things and sharing the information that you find. That's the thing I think you're creating the most impact with. That's the thing that I love about you, the fact that you're willing to serve when you're going through sheer hell yourself. Even when you were in the hospital the first time, when you first had the illness, and we spoke over the phone, right? When you were still on Facebook trying to share with other people about it. That is what I love about you, the fact that you continue to serve, period.
Oh, thank you, Miss Ella. That was so sweet.
You know I love my Jamie.
Oh, I love you, ladies. I'm telling you, like Cheryl Lister sent me a pen. Miss Kathy helped take care of my family.
You mean the pen that you were in there talking about? My pen is out. I'm gonna need some more. I know you got some more, right? Yeah, okay. Those pens.
We didn't have to tell that part. Miss Political Diva, I need a package with some food in it. Miss Ella, I need a hat. No, I'm just messing with y'all. But seriously, I just love you, ladies. And I genuinely, seriously, I'm not joking. It's like I tell my son, I am not playing. I really love each one of you individually, because you have poured into me in ways I can't even tell you. Like, thank you so much. Also, we got a hello from Miss Jennifer Copeland on Facebook. She's definitely a fan of the authors, and I wanted to say hi to her. But again, I thank you all for joining me tonight, for spending this time with me. We don't know what the next day will bring. So that's why I wanted us to take time to share some love, share some wisdom, and just share time with each other tonight. Again, thank you.
I just want to tell you, Jennifer, Jamie, to don't lose faith. Don't downsize what you feel or what you're doing is less than. Right. Okay.
Yes,
we said that before. We said that the conversation that we had before. Don't feel as though it's a race that you got to keep up. You're not doing enough. We're here to do this together. That's the problem now. People want to hold the things that they have and not share these resources. That's the problem. So don't feel as though that's the case. But I just wanted to share my information is bound for FORbetter.net. And on that you will find my my email address and my phone number and the type of work that we do. But if you need me, I'm there. Anything you need across that Bay Bridge, I'll mail it to you before I cross it. Okay? All right.
She don't want to come across that bridge.
Yeah, I will be in touch.
Lynette is from Baltimore, so she knows about that coming that bridge across to the Eastern Shore. She's in Texas now. She left us.
Yep, it's been 7 years next month.
I can't believe it's been that long. Wow.
Wow.
Miss Cheryl is way out there in California, right?
Yep, way on the
Okay.
West Coast.
Okay.
Well, Jamie and Cheryl, will I see y'all at the Maniac event in
No,
June?
no, I'm not gonna make that one. But I
Oh,
know. I think that's the last time I saw you, Miss Ella. It
yes.
was, yeah. I'm not gonna make that one, but I will be in South Carolina in August for AC Authors event.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
All
gonna be
right,
my
Miss Ella, we'll talk.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm seriously, I appreciate you all. Some days because I do spend so much time alone, the only connection I feel like I have to other people is through social media. And you guys make my day. I want you to know that. All right.
All right.
All
So
right.
I appreciate you again. We're going to get ready to go. Um, we wanted to remind the audience to like and share this video. There's a lot of information in here that will bless your life, will change your life, will alter your life. My grandson is knocking on the door. It's time for me to go. Um, bless his little heart. And also, we want to remind you to check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. I would appreciate if you would help me get some more subscribers to the channel. Again, thank you so much. I love and appreciate each and every one of you, and good night.
Love you. Be in touch, Miss Ella. Thank you.
Okay.
All
Bye-bye.
right.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.